I want to talk about a movie that I feel is super underrated.
What's up?
Loved it. Hustle.
Hey.
I love that movie, dude.
Thank you, man.
I loved that movie.
Thank you
and I
so
remember
much.
watching it because look, I'm an Adam Sandler classic, Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison.
He's shooting Happy Gilmore right now.
I
was
know.
supposed to go to set, but I can't find the time to get there.
I'm excited for that, and I can't wait to talk about nostalgia. Right, I'm looking forward to that. But to me, Punch Drunk Love, Hustle, the movies that he's really like, you can see. I feel like there's a lot of like real, and you know better than I do, but like real Adam
Uncut
in
gems.
there.
Oh man,
Yeah, Uncut Gems, but like, that definitely I don't think was real Adam. But like who he is in the core, but he was a great performance. So tell me about that, because you have a great relationship with him. Obviously, he wrote a nice thing about you in this book. Tell me about your relationship with Adam, getting that role, and about working on that movie.
man, Hustle is one of those, again, just one of those blessings. They just kind of came out of nowhere, and it had the perfect timing. So many great things happened because of Hustle. I mean, I got called out of the blue, middle of pandemic, worst of pandemic. The thing I'm most impressed with Hustle as a production, I stared at that screen in every corner. Not a single mask in any shot on the ground. Even in the basketball scenes outdoors, I'm like, there's got to be a mask on the ground. Not a single mask on the ground. Everybody was masked up and 6 feet apart for the shooting of that film during the times when they had not yelled action. I literally would be talking to Adam on the set, and someone in a flak jacket would come up to us and say, "You guys, could you separate, please?" And I mean, that's an annoying thing for a PA with that amount of power now suddenly to come up and do. And that dude was super gracious. Yeah. Adam was super. Sorry about that. Sorry. And he just, and so I would take my cues even from him. It's like, all right, if number one is going to observe it, then hey, I'm gonna follow suit. But I had to quarantine at the Four Seasons in Philadelphia, 57th floor, eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches 10 days in a row before it was safe for me to be around Mr. Adam Sandler. Yeah. And I was actually going through some personal stuff at that time, so it was kind of like it was almost like a breakup rehab for me. Yeah, sure, I was actually texting with my future wife.
Oh, really?
Yeah, wow. from quarantine. And Adam calls me up one day and he goes, at the end of the 10 days, he says, "Hey man, we're going to play some basketball. I know you've been here, but if you want to come play, let me know." And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." He said, "Well, how soon do you think you can get packed up?" And I said, "Oh, I don't know. I can be ready as early as tomorrow morning." I was going to sit down for lunch. And he's like, "Okay, sure. Cool. And then another person called me back and said, "Hey, Adam just wanted me to let you know that we could send a car for you right now."
Oh, wow. And
then it hit. I was like, "Oh, he's saying pack your shit, bro. You are out of the Four Seasons. Welcome to the bubble."
Right.
And so I canceled my lunch and went and packed my stuff, and into the bubble I went, where we were living on a compound. They were living on a compound. I went to join them, and I was one of basically like 6 people that were allowed to play basketball with Adam on this private property. And that's what we did for the next 10 days. And then the next 8 days, we got down to filming. And it was just magical, man. Yeah. The people, the parade of people that came through who have a love for the game. That's the other thing people don't really notice about the movie, is every single cast member of that movie has an attachment to basketball.
I noticed that because I know Adam's a big ball.
But I mean, every single cast member, if you look into their background, has an attachment to basketball that is authentic.
So that's all the whole set was just talking basketball.
I think Hustle is Hustle is a top 3 basketball film of all time.
It's a great movie, too.
I only put Hoosiers up there because Hoosiers is just Hoosiers. Sure. I'd say Hoop Dreams next, and I'm not even lying. I'd say Hustle is number 3.
No blue chips?
Hustle is number 3.
So it is absolutely, it really is. It was a solid, and my wife, who's not a big sports fan, she's not.
Well, that's the best. A best sports movie is a movie that tells a human interest story that somebody who doesn't even love that sport can get into.
She loved it.
So,
and it was a great movie. And so did you know Adam beforehand through?
Yeah, I played with Adam in the NBA Entertainment League. Okay. The famed secret society NBA Entertainment League, and this was a period between in the early 2000s where the NBA sponsored an actual entertainment league for people in the entertainment community, and we wore the actual uniforms, like authentic Laker uniforms, Celtics uniforms, etc. And this was before cell phones were allowed to film anybody. So Will Ferrell was in that league.
Wow.
Donald Faison was in that league. Josh Duhamel. I mean, I met everybody in that darn league. Steve Howey, my boy Steve Howey. And it became like a fraternity.
Yeah.
And so I hadn't seen Adam since 2019. There was a fundraiser softball game in Malibu for some fires that happened out there that was terrible. And Adam showed up. And I remember him, we introduced our daughters. And I remember him looking at me and he goes, I have something for you. I might, yeah. And and he only said it like in passing like that. And when somebody says something like that in our business,
right, you're like, sure.
You take it with a grain of salt,
Sure.
and you just,
But now when he says that, you're going to believe it every time.
Yo.
Right.
I mean, it was like a year and a half on the dot.
Wow.
And I get the call. And so it's just like, it because of all those connect the dots, it's having been in Hustle is something that just means a lot to me.
And you guys are pretty tight.
Yeah.
Now, to this day.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
He's a mensch, man. He's a special one.